A lot of people in the room want to hear Veria talk. Veria, go ahead. What
Why?
did you have to add? I guess they're his fans or something. I don't know. I'm just giving him the opportunity to speak. This conversation didn't seem to be going anywhere. So, Veria, go ahead. What did you want to say?
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Well, I've got one point to add. If the laws of logic didn't apply to God pre-creation, the only logical conclusion is that God wasn't God, which is not actually far from the truth, because God who didn't create something is not God, because God is the creator. So from a theist perspective, if God didn't create, then it wasn't God. That's why people like Mu'tazilites and those people from the Kalam Sunnah, they basically believed that creation and God, they are both eternal, because God and creation can't be without each other. Therefore, sort of what John says, I'm not sure if John meant it, but it actually says something like this, that the creation and God both must be eternal.
That's
In
not what
that
John
case,
said.
you can.
That's not what John
I
said.
know it's not what John said. I
And
know it's not what John.
you're representing the Mu'tazila as well. I don't know where you got this idea from.
From the history of philosophy, I'm a
Are you
I am a
saying
philosopher.
that the Mu'tazila believed that creation was eternal?
Yes, they actually
What's your
believe.
What's your
They
evidence for
actually.
that?
Well, I can send you references. They actually believe that
Yeah.
the Quran was eternal. I know you don't like
No,
it.
they
I
don't
know you
believe
don't like
that.
it,
No, they
but
don't
they
believe that.
actually
They don't
believed
believe that.
Quran was
What you're
eternal.
saying, no, they didn't actually. They were
Right.
the
Okay.
sect that said that the Quran was not eternal. So I don't know why you have fans, because you're coming on here spouting complete nonsense. You have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
You
Can
said
I?
the complete opposite
Can
of
I
the
reference
historical
Peter
position.
Adamson?
You just said
Can I
that
reference
the
you Peter Adamson, or
Mu'tazila,
Peter
you
Adamson
just
doesn't know
said
what he's
that the
talking about?
Mu'tazila believed
Okay.
that the Quran was eternal. That's the
Yes.
opposite. They're the ones that argued that it wasn't eternal.
Well,
So you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm quoting Peter Adamson, that the Kalam, the people who were from the tradition of the Kalam, they actually, which were Mu'tazilites and Ash'ariyas, they actually argued on the point that Quran must be eternal, and if it wasn't,
No,
if
that's
it wasn't.
incorrect.
Okay,
That's
okay. We
incorrect,
can argue
sir.
this later. We can argue.
No,
This is
because
not my point.
what you're
This is
saying
not
is
the.
so
This is
far,
not
it
the.
is
This
so
is
far
not the.
removed, because
This
you're
is not
literally
my.
saying the exact opposite of what
Okay,
happened.
this is just an example of what I said. I'm just talking about God, the creator, cannot be the creator if he didn't create.
And again, you're
Therefore,
wrong about that as well. That's my
okay,
point.
Yeah, John.
You're wrong
John
about
doesn't
that
think
as well.
Can you let me
John
finish?
doesn't. By the way, also John doesn't think that either.
Okay, that's fine.
Exactly.
But
You're wrong.
the point is that if God was the creator and then he existed pre-creation, before his creation, then he was something else. That he wasn't God. Whatever he wasn't God. So he turned into creator after he started creating. This is just
That's not
simple
the
logic.
Sunni position. That's not the Sunni
John's
position, my
position
friend. This guy's a
is
joke.
that
He's
God
just
was the
completely
creator.
misrepresenting the whole thing.
Okay, but
Well,
I don't mind.
we
We can
like
talk about
alternative views,
Mu'tazilites.
but John's position is that God was the creator.
Some metaphysician keeps using ad hominems and saying his views are nonsense without backing it up.
He's not a Muslim, this guy. He's an atheist. What are you talking
That
about?
doesn't mean he said anything wrong or that everything he says is nonsense, does it?
He did. He
Okay,
did,
so this
because
is just
one of his first claims was that the Mu'tazila, which is a sect in Islam, believed that the Quran was co-eternal with God, when in fact the whole dispute over that, they were on the side arguing that the Quran was not eternal with God, and to say that it was blasphemous. That was their view. They don't believe that anything is eternal alongside God. So the very claim he came in here making was completely incorrect,
Okay.
and it's
I was
laughable.
when I said Mutazilites.
Yeah, but you don't understand the argument. That's my point.
Okay,
I'm showing
okay,
I'm
you show
showing
me the
you that
argument then.
you don't understand who the parties were in the debate, what exactly the debate was about, what the different views were. I can give you that all off the top of my head,
Did you
but you
even
don't understand it.
understand the point?
That's why I'm trying
Did
to
you even
explain it to
listen to the
you that
point,
it's
or you
really
just
not
trying
worth
to be
listening to
hard?
you because you're
Did
just
you
spewing
even
nonsense, dude.
understand the point I was trying to make? You just try.
Yeah,
You
I
just
do
tried to be
understand the
an
point that you're
asshole.
trying to make, and it wasn't
Yes. What
germane.
was the
It
point?
wasn't germane to
What was
anything
my
that was
point?
being discussed.
What
It
was my
wasn't
main
germane
point?
to anything that was being discussed.
Okay,
And you also
whatever.
you
If
also
you just
started
want to
talking
be an
about Mullah
asshole,
Sadra. You
it
started talking about
seems
Mullah Sadra as well. I could ask you some
yes.
basic questions I don't even think you'll know the answer to about Mullah Sadra.
Guys, you keep talking at the same time.
Tashkik al
Did you
wujud.
even understand my point or not? What did you
What?
understand? I mean,
I
I
did
talked about.
understand your
So if
points.
you
I
did,
did understand your point.
why are you being an arse then? I talked to you about
I'm not being an
creation.
ass.
Yes, you are.
I'm correcting somebody
It's
who's coming on stage trying to speak
I was trying to
authoritatively
make a
when you
point
don't know
and
the
listen to
basics
your
of the
views.
conversation. That's what I'm doing.
I was trying to make a point.
Yeah, I thought you guys were done anyway. I thought Sean wanted to talk to you, Veria. Can we try that? Because you two don't seem to have a good chemistry.
Yeah, but
No,
Haiti,
we're
I'm just
not.
saying if somebody's going to come on here and try to represent a historical reality and they're making very basic mistakes in the historical narrative, why should we listen to them and think that they're
You
going
could
to
have
tell us
listened.
something
What's the
You could
important to
have
mistake?
that?
listened to what my point. And I was saying that as an atheist, I think the view that you take God and the creation both as co-eternal is the one that makes more sense, and the one that these modern Persian philosophers take. It's not that I agree with them because I don't believe in God, but this is the most
Yeah,
defensive.
I think it's the most incoherent one.
Oh, that's
Okay.
my view. That's
What's
why I'm
your
so
view?
interested in
Sorry.
it. That they're co-eternal.
Well, you don't believe they're two different entities.
I actually, that's true. I also think they're identical.
Right. So they obviously don't.
But that's why it's so interesting to me.
Okay, so JJ, if they're two different entities, does it make sense to say that one created the other and they're both eternal?
I don't know yet. It's not
Well, I'm just asking
something
what you think about it.
I don't know yet. I want to hear more about it.
Well, that's the view. The view is one is the creator of the other and they're both eternal.
Yeah, I don't.
How would you know which one created the other?
Well, I think that's the point that he's bringing
No,
up.
you don't. You don't. That's a contradiction. That's the point. You
No,
don't.
no, yeah,
But
but
at
that's the
least you have a
problem.
God.
That's the problem with the view is because
Yes.
on this view,
But that
you have a creator and the creation, and they're both eternal, and you have no way of identifying which one is which.
yes, that is a problem. But at least that
Okay,
keep that. At least you can keep your God. I mean, that you can
you can
have an
keep your
eternal
God. How
God.
do you keep your God? You don't even know who he is.
Well, it's you can call it something that actually.
Okay,
Thank
thanks
you.
for that. Have a good night.
Thanks. Thank you. Good night.
No, that's one educated dude.
Yeah, I like that guy.
That was great. Yeah.
Where education like that in like Iran,
Did you notice, JJ?